Now, I recently made a video on how the Swiss are going to have a referendum in order to cap the population in Switzerland. In other words, if the number of people becomes too large, they stop immigration, and after a while, they begin deporting people, right? And I guess this event is probably going to influence a little bit that particular referendum. Because apparently, the Swiss police say that there was a knife attack, which they're labeling as a terrorist incident. And the funny part is that when I first saw the news, I was like, okay, there was a knife attack. Like, and then I literally just had to shake myself out of it and realize, hold on a little bit, like, this thing is not normal. Right? Like, when I grew up in the 90s, the early 2000s, and even in 2010, this would have been shocking, even in London, right? Like, if you had a knife attack, it was a shocking event that generally shocked the nation. And so, like, the Swiss police reaction and the public reaction in Switzerland is like normal human reaction. This is genuinely how a modern state should treat an event like this. Like, yes, it's in the papers. People are shocked. They're wondering, how could this have happened here? Are we safe, right? Meanwhile, if this happened in London, it probably wouldn't even make it to the papers, because it's like, well, I mean, of course there is a knife attack, right? Like, it's part and parcel of living in the big city. Like, what would you expect? If you don't have knives attacks, then it's not a big city. It's a little city, right? It gets downgraded. But here's the interesting part, right? Like, apparently this was done by a 31-year-old male, which had dual citizenship. He was Turkish and Swiss. And he appears to have been genuinely mentally insane, right? Because he was already hospitalized for his mental illnesses. Police has known him for years. He was claiming that Switzerland is a delusional state, right? And this is why he was actually in a psychiatric facility. And then a doctor declared that he poses no threat to himself and others. The doctor let him go, and he ended up stabbing people. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because I looked at the conversation online, and I've seen two groups of people, right? The first group of people are the ones that are saying, well, I mean, this was a crazy person. And they have a point, right? Because there are two types of terrorist attacks. Like, there is the terrorist attack that is genuinely like one crazy person. And there is the terrorist attack where you have an entire organization, groups of people, foreign funding. You know, they try to smuggle weapons into another country. They plan. And that one is different, because that one can actually be dismantled. Like, that one is something that the authorities should actually catch, because there's many people involved. They should start dismantling it and prevent it. It's a lot easier. Meanwhile, just a random guy that goes on the internet and reads radical propaganda, and then he radicalizes and takes a knife and goes outside. Well, I do understand that the authorities can't be precognition, right? And so, like, when that happens, well, hopefully the authorities react fast enough so that not a lot of people get hurt, you know? Preferably, you live in a country where people are allowed to carry, and when that happens, like, just an average citizen can take care of the problem before the police even arrives. But with that out of the way, I do need to say something that I find very interesting. When there are two ideologies involved, and I think, like, these are the only two ideologies in the world that are treated differently than any other ideology. And correct me if I'm wrong, right? The first one is Antifa, right? And the second one is Islam. The level of apologia that happens when a person gets radicalized and does something like this due to these ideologies is astonishing. So what I mean by this, right? Like, when you have a situation like this, it's like, well, it's not Islam, it's extremism, it's not all Muslims. It's okay, you know, like, I understand the argument. I just file it somewhere and I remember it for later, right? When it's Antifa, it's just an idea. It's just an idea. Okay, so I remember it, I file it, and I put it in later. Why don't they say the same when it's white nationalism, right? Like, why don't they say, well, I mean, you know, people that have this ethno-nationalist view, which existed even before World War II, not all of them are violent, right? Like, not all of them, like some of them just want to limit immigration, but, like, they don't want to actually go out on the street and commit violence, right? when you have religion extremists that's Christian. Like, let's say if you have a Christian nowadays that went up and, I don't know, bombed an abortion clinic. That actually used to happen during the Bush era. Would you actually see leftists be like, well, I mean, of course, it's not all Christians. It's just like the extremists. I mean, obviously, he was part of a very extreme fringe of Christianity. No, for some reason, no other ideology manages to have like this level of apologia. And I'm just like saying, like, why not? Why can't we have the same apologia for white nationalism and for Christianity and for every other ideology, right? Like, why can't we be tolerant across the board? Why do we have to discriminate? What do these two ideologies have that the rest don't? This is what I'm noticing, right? It's not even that I care or anything like that, but like after so many times that it happened, I can't help but see the pattern, right? And that is like, I'm a person that vibes very well with pattern recognition, and I can't help but observe that it's almost like a ritual now, right? Like when it's Antifa or Islam, all of a sudden we have the excuses. And I'm not saying the excuses should go away, right? Perfectly reasonable excuses. I just want to borrow them. I just want to rip them and give it to other ideologies as well, right? Also, it's interesting that when it comes to extremism nowadays, right? Like violent extremism, not ideological. Because so far, I don't know many, AFD supporters, for example, driving a truck into a bunch of people. But I've been told that the AFD is of major concern. And I'm pretty sure it is for the ruling class, right? But like for the average citizen that walks on the street, they're not. Still, what I am trying to say is that when it comes to violent extremism, right? Where are the Buddhists? Like, how many Buddhists do you know, right? That do, why don't we have them? Oh, because they're not in Europe. Oh, I see. Right, interesting. So, like, in order to prevent violent extremism, you can just choose not to, Okay, what are the violent extremists that are Hindus? Like, how many violent extremist Hindus do we have? I guess not that many, right? Interesting. 6? Well, with 6, I actually heard of one. Right? They're already extremely overrepresented because we have one case. There was, I think in America or someplace, like one Sikh used this ritual dagger to stab someone. Okay, so like, there you go, right? Extremely bloodthirsty ideology, one case, right? Too many. But other than that, right, you notice a little bit of overrepresentation, and every single time we have censorship and safety and everything else, it seems to be for other ideologies, right? Like, for example, in Australia, that's my favorite take. You have an immigrant, right, Muslim, that attacks Jewish people that were at an event, right? And what is the Australian government solution? To crack down on nationalists. Like, nationalists are probably what the fuck did we do, But you need to take away their guns. And you need more hate speech for them. And this is what this article actually made me think when I was reading it. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, we'll see you in the comment section. Take care.